Greetings, everyone. This is me, Zahra Jawad. To remind you that in Surah Hashr ayats, this is terrorism and nothing but terrorism. To expel those Yathrib people from their homelands, to cast terror into their hearts and break their homes with their own hands, make them break their homes with their own hands, and make the believers also. This was not the definition I had thought of believers when I was Shia even. So, having closely examined this verse, these verses in Surah Hashr, I would have been in doubt, gone in doubt, and depression or something like this, because this is no way acceptable. Okay, before I go on, if you would like to ask me questions, just remember that I'm after the truth. And if you personally attack me, you know, my voice may be raised or something because I'm not feeling well. Um, and if you can't see the truth, and if I find any cunning, slyness in you, I will have to time you out or remove you from this, right? Sorry to say that. I've had enough now. So um, for me, it is still is academic and searching the truth. It's not philosophical. Um, it's about finding the truth and then reaching a conclusion about it and choosing what is right and what is wrong, right and wrong, and what is false and what is true. So as you can see, I'm an ex-Muslim, ex-Shia meaning ex-Muslim also. And another thing is that this is my tone. I apologize. This is the way I speak. I cannot help it. So please join me here with the thing that you will not play around with words and things or personally attack me here or say that I'm lying about this or that, you know, whatever in a way uh, that I've seen some Muslims come here and do. So the thing is that how shall I say it? Like I'm trying to find words. I'm not prepared for this, but still trying to find the words for this. So there were. It really shocked me. Like some Muslims who found this out. I have been pointing this out to them, and they say that they came here and they said that this is like justifiable, and I'm the one lying. And there were two of them, three of them came actually last time. Karakot, 100, Salahuddin, and Stand Your Ground, or what was it? Sorry, I've forgotten. So please look at this in a more civilized manner. Uh, what is there to fear and put someone in the wrong when they are just showing you that this is unacceptable, right? And then you blame me for hatred for Islam and bias and God knows what I was blamed last time. It was very shocking for me because as a Shia, we would not do this to the fellow Sunni Muslims, right? So they used to question, I mean, if someone did, without me asking even, they used to, a friend of mine used to throw things at me against Shia Islam. So if you even come here and say, may God guide you, you know that You know this Islam, Sunni Shias. So Shias know that they are guided, and the Sunnis think they are guided. And there's a major conflict here. I don't know how much you hate each other or what it is, but I thought we should love a fellow Sunni Muslim. And in loving kindness, if they ask us or if they're killing us, like, I'm not saying this. Sipai Sahiba was there in Pakistan, and I heard that they were a Sunni terrorist, extremist, Islamic. Sorry, I don't mean to, but sometimes I say these things. Please forbear. I mean, overlook also, and please understand. Uh, I don't mean any hatred or anything against you. In fact, I was bridging the hatred or this uh, you know conflict and the distance because of this conflict between Shias and Sunnis. For a long time, at times, I would just be in shock, not that knowledgeable, and if I even studied, I wouldn't know how to talk and convey that what I've found out. So I would just keep my mouth shut, and that would really get to me. So far from it, I'm not, uh, you know, and there is no like, I hate it. I hate it when I see like all this, like I used to hate it. I'll tell you about my personal Najil Balagha, my personal thing about Najil Balagha. You know how I retreated from Imam Ali and not reading. I didn't want to read Najil Balagha. I was like, can we find another? Couldn't Allah find another way to deal with hypocrites even? Uh, who had given, we were told, Imam Ali, and you could read through the Najil Balagha and find that out. A hard time. So, thing is that, no, it's not because I hate Najil Balagha, but I hated this thing of so much, whatever it is, disliked it. This doesn't mean I go killing my Shias or just because I just took a step back from Najul Balagha and stopped reading it. Right? That's my green light is on. So I have to time and again also check if my the voice is coming. I'm on a mic USB. It might go away, so I don't know. I apologize for that. But this is the best right now. The mic that I have, this one. When I use this one, the sound is higher, volume is better with this one. So when this finishes, I'll go on with the wired one. And there's no hissing or no static sound with this. Okay, so you see Surah Hashr ayats. I'll just go to. I'm and it was quite shocking to see how, you know, things. It's the ones who came here, Muslims, were saying that this is justifiable. It never could be justifiable. For me, my voice was raised. I was really like shocked. Um, you see, opposition against whatever it may be, even a life attempt, like I said, on Prophet Muhammad. Yathrib was not his, so he could have uh, moved away, migrated, left that Yathrib, right? And I've shown you the Quran ayat which says of the angels, when they take the souls of people, they say, what was your position on the land, on earth? They say that we were oppressed. So the angels say, wasn't this space, wasn't the earth spacious for you? Since Allah has made the earth spacious. Like even if zulm is done on you on your land, if you can emigrate, you should emigrate from your land. And so if you don't, you'll go to hell. So that ayat too. And then if you're really like incapacitated, you're under duress completely, they won't allow you to leave. That's a different matter than in the Quran ayat it says, then you will not go to hell. Like, but if you can, you're able to leave that place, even your homeland, you should leave if you're oppressed. So I'm not here for hatred, neither do I come here for bias. I would rather cheat myself and not others if I have to cheat anyone. I pray to God because I do believe in God. So let's have a look at this again. And okay, second ayat. It is He who expelled the ones who disbelieved among the people of the scripture from their homes at the first gathering. You did not think they would leave, and they thought that the fortresses would protect them from Allah. But the decree of Allah came upon them from where they had not expected. Sorry if you can hear the voice in the background, children playing and all. And He cast terror into their hearts, so they destroyed their houses by their own hands. Here, Allah is used to say that Allah expelled them from these disbelievers from their homelands. It does not say that they assassinated him. In the Quran ayat, it only says shaku. They opposed him, opposed Allah and His Messenger. And then you can see when you love your parents more than Allah and the Messenger and jihad, what is the word used for you in Surah Tawbah for the believers? Surah Tawbah. Ayat, you can see both the ayats, 23 and 24. You can't take even your fathers, your brothers, your family members as allies, right? So you can't love them. That other ayat in Surah Mujadila, verse 22. Now in Surah Tawbah, we're told that you'd be defiantly disobedient, fasik, and you would be a zalim. The word zalim is used. In just doing, just taking your family members, anything of yours more beloved than Allah, the Messenger, and jihad, you would become a zalim. So now we don't know for sure, although we have commentaries about these ayats, can you ever be sure? And in the commentaries, we also tafsirs, we have sometimes dissenting views or statements. So to blame another person who is showing you, don't you think that is unfair? That, but are you sure about your religion? So I'm showing you. Are you sure? How can you say you are sure when you weren't even there? And is this book enough for guidance and truth, conveyance of truth also? Will you find the truth here? Will you find true guidance here? One book, there are dissenting views, mistranslations. Surah Fatah ayat 9. And another one I've shown. Surah Tawbah ayat 33. So there are these discrepancies, and he himself broke a law in Surah Tahrim, we're told. Now, can you, do I have the heart to read this? Uh, no, not the whole thing again and again, but look at this shaku. You can read it. So, shaku means split away. That is because they opposed, and the translators or resisted. So, that's because they resisted Allah and His Messenger. So, you want to ask yourself, were they resisting Allah and His Messenger? Right? Why did they resist? In their own homeland, if they resist Allah and His Messenger, and then we find in Surah Nisa, Surah Nisa at 65, that the believers, they have to make him a judge, the messenger now, and you have to submit to his judgment fully. Then we find in Surah Azab verse uh, that 37, no, we have to 36, that you have to obey him even in Zen. So a little bit in context with the tafsir, Zainab bin Josh, against her will, had to marry Zaid because the ayat says 36 in Surah Azab that you cannot disobey Allah and His Messenger. And whatever He gives you, take it. There's another ayat. And whatever He refrains from, you refrain from it. So you see in Surah Azab, verse 37, then that the marriage broke and Zaid had to complete his want for his wife, complete and divorce her. But he says, you see, when you tell a believer, it does not logically fall into place. If you tell a believer, keep your wife and have fear of Allah, or have taqwa, or do your duty to Allah, let's put it that way also. Zaid is supposed to keep his wife, right? But Zaid cannot force keep his wife. His wife was the one who wanted a divorce in context if we read that ayat. So what happens here? And then he himself feared the people. And for whatever reasons, both the Sunni and the Shias may put, the Muslims, right? And then he concealed in his heart what Allah was to reveal. So if you're a marriage counselor, ask yourselves, like, wouldn't you prepare said that, look, I've been told by Allah that divorce would happen and I will have to marry your wife. That's it. Why tell Zaid when you know Allah has told you that a divorce will happen? It is futile to tell Zaid. He cannot work on it when Allah has already told you that the marriage will fail. So why even work on asking Zaid to keep your wife and fear Allah? You know, that's a big thing. And that Allah did a favor on you before the part of the ayat beginning part of the ayat. It fails logically. And I've used reason many times to check this ayat. Like in Villette by Charlotte Bronte, there's a quote this from that. I'm taking the quote. Reason betimes to check. So I had to look at it. You know, it's a big thing that Allah has done favor on you, and His messenger has done a favor on you. Zaid is reminded of that. There and there you see a problem. No marriage. What if a marriage counselor tells you, like he's the messenger of Allah, right? He knows that the divorce will take place. Allah has told him. And he tells you, keep your wife and fear Allah. Uh, He's going to fail. The divorce is going to take place. And the marriage counselor is supposed to marry your wife, divorced wife. Huh. It's a, it's, it's sad. It is terribly pathetic. I could crack up on this, right? Surya. So not only me, but the Shaku thing, sorry, the Shaku word here in Surah Hashr ayat 4, back here, resisted. Yusuf Ali says resisted. Others say opposed. Others that I have here translators, Sahih International and Muhammad Taqiyuddin Hilali and Muhammad Masan Khan, right? Then they broke, they cut down the trees, the palm trees. Then you see in the Bible, I checked, because they are told, judge by your Torah and all this in another verse in the Quran, Surah. Then I thought the believers are only supposed to take him as judge, and then only then can you believe, right? Yes, it says that you will not have faith unless you make him the judge and submit to it, his decision, with a complete submission. Judge. Okay, so we go to Surah Azab, verse 37. Just a reminder here that this is terrorism in detail. You don't break homes. You don't cast terror into hearts just because of what? They resisted here, the ayat says. And then you've even taken their property. I mean, this right minded people, sound minded people, restored. And what Allah restored of property to His messenger, the leftovers from them. You did not spur for it. He's telling the believers. But Allah gives His messengers power over whom He wills. And Allah is over all things competent. So unlike what someone said here that it was from them, there I don't know where they were saying, because it doesn't say in the Quran ayats. And what Allah restored to His messenger from the people of the towns, it is for Allah and for the messenger and for near relatives and orphans. You've already made these needy people, you've pounded their houses to dust, cut down the trees. Goodness. So it doesn't make sense. So when you read Surah Yunus, what does Surah Yunus say, ayat 100? Please open your Qurans and read that. Then what we come to here is a ayat I found, and where's my tab, the other one? That you should not hide your testimonies that you've taken an oath, and you shouldn't hide them. It's in this tab. Let me see what ayat it is. So I might not be on this tab able to show you the ayats because this tab is quite slow. I think I saved it in a tab here. Um, Please bear with me. Surah Maida, or did I go somewhere else now? In Surah Maida. So I think there's an ayat in Surah Tawbah O you, yes, 106. O you have believed, testimony should be taken among you when death approaches one of you at the time of bequest, that of two just men from among you or two others from outside. If you are traveling through the land and the disaster of death should strike you, detain them after the prayer and let them both swear by Allah if you doubt their testimony, saying, we will not exchange it, i.e., our oath, for a price, i.e., worldly gain, even if he should be a near relative, and we will not withhold the testimony of, i.e., ordained by Allah. Indeed, we would then be of the sinful. Gunegar. So we would be of the sinful if we withheld testimony. So don't hide when you have proof against someone or for someone. Don't hide that proof. This is Surah Maida ayat 106. I've just read out. Let's see how this doesn't go to Surah. Let's see how fast it is. My hand is, oh yes. Uh, so it's a long ayat. If I go to Quran.com, let's see how long it takes to upload this website, right? So please have a look at this Surah Maida ayat 106. So please don't withhold testimony because then you will be sinful if you do so against or for anyone. Don't withhold it. So what am I doing here when I read these ayats and when I see my former prophet to be a terrorist in Islam and restoring the property? If I withhold this, if I don't share it, I would be sinful, according to this ayat, Surah Maida ayat 106. You will not exchange our oath. I'm just starting from here. Even if he should be a near relative, and we will not, actually from here, and we will not withhold the testimony of, i.e., ordained by Allah. Indeed, we would then be of the sinful, right? Sinful. So don't withhold testimonies. If you have proof against someone, if you, so this is why, this is another reason why I should be doing this, right? Then where do I take you? So now, seeing this against my religion, against my former prophet, remember it, he was my former prophet. His grandson was the proof for us, greatest. So, and for hatred, I could say, like someone blamed me for hating Islam and not looking at the good things, and I explained that. So I don't hate like what is true, right? And the people I hate, I don't go killing. I just avoid them, disassociate myself from them. But he doesn't do that. Now, seeping through the Quran ayat Surah Tawbah, I saw that now he's telling some to fight, kill. like fight those who are living around you. And we are told, no, no, they had what? What were they doing? Living around, attacking them? Huh? So that they made this ring around them, their houses. So no, I saw in other ayats seeping through that actually now what is a zalim? Developments are happening. Surah Tawbah at 23 and 24. Who is defiantly disobedient. He puts those defiantly disobedient, like extremist, He's an extremist, it's Allah. And then it doesn't make a difference if your Allah is an extremist. If that Allah you believe in and you go by what He's saying and what He does, you believe in that Allah. So when I say He's an extremist, is Yani the Prophet Muhammad, then Allah is an extremist. Moderation is not there anymore. You can't take allies, friends, protectors, guardians, disbelievers. So the picture and what He says Allah has given you is extremely negative about the disbeliever also. And, you know, zalim because maybe, your father needs help and he wants to help you, but he can't help you because he's a disbeliever. You won't take help from him. You won't make him a friend. So, extremist and what else is there? What was I saying? I've forgotten. Sorry. It's a real extremist. Zalim. So there's no he doesn't accept now his Allah also. Won't accept anyone to live like plural in a society where there are difference of religion, race, creed, this, that. Difference in religion, he won't allow that. I saw that in Surah Tawbah, and I honestly went through it because I was at one time very afraid of the fire of hell. But we don't go around telling even a friend that is close to me, because I know what I have to do about this, my religion and my fear for Allah or hell. But then later on, I went so later on I was asking someone in this madness in Karachi. I met a Muslim in a bookshop. Like, do you know that hell is forever? We're going to burn forever if we, you know, do something wrong. Hell is, so he was saying, no, there are different dissenting views. In the Quran, there is not hellfire forever. So I was like, really? Because I've seen ayat which says that hell is forever. You will burn. So for some people. So I was really, really scared, fearful, but what could I do? I was trying, I mean, I had to now come in this religion sincerely. So in year 2000, I thought this would be, I have to now come in this religion sincerely. Khulus. Okay, so this and Where else shall I go now? I was reading Surah Meda ayats also and Surah Al Imran. Al Imran ayats because something. So it maybe you will not like this. It's going to take a long time. Al Imran. So what ayats are in Al Imran that I was like, no, this also now doesn't appeal to my reason. Surah Al Imran. Al Imran. Let's see. What verse is this? 64. Say, O Prophet, O people of the book, let us come to common terms that we will worship none but Allah, associate none with Him, nor take one another as lords instead of Allah. But if they turn away, then say, bear witness that we have submitted to Allah alone. No, you haven't. Also, so you see, like the messenger of Allah is associated with Allah as a messenger, and all these associations are there. In the Surah Ghafir, he says, as Allah says, like, is there anyone who could be a judge other than Allah, right? So this is not a good, a truthful ayat for the Ahl Kitab. Come to common terms. And then slowly, slowly, you see in the ayats development that you have to obey him along with Allah. Surah, where was I going? So let me just settle down for a while. Not make him a judge. No, no. Surah Ghafir, yeah. Not make anyone a judge. Surah Ghafir. Allah alone is the judge. So now I'm thinking, my Shias must have worked it out, right? Because I found two ayats that are contradictory. But Imam Ali says what? Shias, calling out to Shias, Najil Balagha, when there are seemingly contradictory ayats, but when you put them together, they're scattered in the Quran, right? When you bring them together, the ones on the same topic, what happens? They fall into perspective in place. Now there's no contradiction. So good. So, but not good. I even object to that. Allah will judge with justice, whereas those whom they call upon beside Him cannot judge at all. Surely Allah and He alone is all hearing and all seeing. Surah Ghafir, Ayat 20. Loading, loading, loading. Loaded. Surah Ghafir, Ayat 20. 40th chapter of the Quran. And Allah judges with truth, while those they invoke besides Him judge not with anything. Judge not with anything. Indeed, Allah, He is the hearing, the seeing. I'm actually seeing the Quran ayats for what they are, not trying to, take them out of context. Allah knows or misinterpret them. Allah knows the fraud of the eyes and all that the breast conceal. And Allah judges with truth, while those they invoke besides Him judge not with anything. Indeed, Allah, He is the hearing, the seeing. 21. Let's see what it says here. Have they not traveled through the land and observed how was the end of those who were before them? They were greater than them in strength and in impression on the land. But Allah sees them for their sins, and they had not from Allah any protector. So this, if you take anyone, this ayat would be, that is because the messengers were coming to them with clear proofs, but they disbelieved. So Allah sees them in, okay, powerful, severe punishment. Do I have to? No, no. I don't think I should go further on this. It's just this 20 ayat is enough, right? While those they invoke besides Him judge not with anything. While those they invoke besides Him, He says, besides Him. They call on besides Him. If you don't know the true meaning, like whom they call on, invoke besides Him. Invoke. Word is used. Invoke besides Him, not they judge with anything. So with this ayat, you would say that you can. It says Allah judges with truth. So no one else judges with truth except Allah, right? So it would make you you would be a mushrik. Munafiq is hypocrisy. Mushrik is whom you call on besides Allah or take as judge besides Allah. Then you would be a mushrik, right? Because it blames the polytheists and those who take others besides Him as judges, right? Judge not with anything. So I found these kind of ayats against polytheists like really, obscure and very cleverly put, and so we would say, oh, they are completely gone, zalimun, disbelievers, and all this, right? Polytheists, those they invoke besides Him, or even judgment is, it is unjust, and this is unforgivable sin. All this. Then you look at recently, I had this ayat, but then again, Dr. David Wood came on, I think, yeah, Surah International, like I'm forgetting, and he spoke about this ayat. Surah Nisa, like you have to completely submit to Prophet Muhammad's judgment. What in your disputes when he decides. But no, by your Lord, they will never. You will not be believers. You will not be believers. But no, by your Lord, they will not truly believe. Truly, they will not believe. Truly is in brackets. Let me see here the ayat. But no, by your Lord, not will they believe until they make you judge about what arises between them. Then not they find in themselves any discomfort about what you have decided and submit in full submission. So here, Muslims, we have believers, and that's why the believers are above you. So now I will end here. Let the caller has called. Let that finish. I might take a long, I don't know for how long, and when I will come back. So thank you so much. I leave you with this to contemplate on this. Thank you so much.